crashes. Craziest part of motorsports, right? Terrible, dangerous, expensive, but you know what? For us spectators, they're actually pretty fun. Let's get real. I don't think they're too about crashes because watching NASCAR, being a NASCAR fan, I think they're pretty synonymous with crashing. Big pile-ups, right? But Formula One, I'm learning about, and it's been really fun. And I can honestly say I have not seen basically any F1 crashes. I don't know how they usually go. We're going to check that out. We're looking at the biggest F1 crashes over the last 20 years. And this is from Just Another Racing Channel, so you can check them out in the description. Watch the whole video uninterrupted with the link down there. Let's go.
Leading Ralph Schumacher. Michael made a dreadful getaway. He's a potential and unavoidable
Oh my God. Well, that's a way to start out the video. Went up the red car like a ramp. Let me just say, first impressions, open wheel cars like these Formula One vehicles, they are just so sketchy to me, man. They probably are really safe. They arguably are just as safe as a regular, conventional, you know, closed cockpit car. But I tell you what, they just don't look like it, right? And my brain wants to associate these with dangerous. It's the same way when I watch IndyCar, which I am a fan of. I have seen some IndyCar crashes, and so much more dangerous than, say, a NASCAR crash or like a touring car crash or something, right?
The Australian Grand Prix is
Australia, all right.
It's a good start from the second row with Ralph Schumacher trying to squeeze through David Coulthard.
Another ramp one.
Schumacher in the air and into the grid.
Oh, that's bad.
And Ralph Schumacher cars
that looks bad because you know what? He carries some speed. If we can get a look at this again.
Back, of course.
Yeah, okay, we're going to get a nice far away view here. He carries some speed after he jumps over this thing. Goes right into the barriers. Look at that. Get some air.
Unbelievable. Ralph Schumacher was so fortunate. And he found the part of the safety runoff area with the most space. Now watch again. Schumacher goes one way, then Barrichello the other way, cuts back. Barrichello breaks. Ralph outbreaks himself.
Oh my God, he took flight. Yo, these are starting out pretty wicked, I gotta say. You have the whole downforce thing. What's crazy is these cars produce so much downforce, but then once they do get airborne, it's like an airplane. They kind of just take off, right? It's pretty scary. A lot of these, or at least these first couple, looks like they've taken place right at the start. Kind of interesting to know. You know, in NASCAR, they do a rolling start, of course. A lot of the local short track racing, that's what they do as well around me. But, of course, these are standing start. What do you like better? I really don't mind either or, but standing starts, I guess, could, in this case, when you're coming into a hard turn, it could cause some havoc, right? Before everyone's kind of used to the race.
Is that in the pit straight? It is in the pit straight, and it will be an enormous accident then. Because that's something like 150 miles an hour. It's the back end of the Jaguar's got away from
safety
car
car
out, of course.
Naturally going to have some issues.
We've got another car
Alonso.
We think Alonso's come round and,
Look at all
probably
the parts.
found...
You know, after I learned how expensive F1 cars are, this hits even harder. I mean, look at all that money.
Race stopped, red flag,
down
race
the
has
drain.
Stopped. Alonso had
These cars are total, obviously,
and
I
either lost the
imagine
car in the same place or suddenly realized there was a big incident and hit.
How does that work for F1? Do they have, how many backup cars do they have? You know, in NASCAR, they have backup cars. You know, how's this work in F1? When that car gets ripped apart, okay, what happens, right?
The brake. Oh, nasty. He hit the stationary tire, of course.
Wow.
And,
that was harder than it let on to be.
It looks like
that thing just got whipped around like a rag doll, man. Like a toy. Same with this. I noticed they're going every year, so it must be every year. We're in 2004 now. Great to see him walk away, though.
Pretty bad as the car rolled over.
Like I said, as a spectator, watching these crashes can be fun. You get to see the carnage. The cars do crazy stuff. But, of course, at the end of the day, we're all humans. You don't want to see anyone hurt, right? I don't want to see anyone hurt. It's a relief to see, you know, the car go crazy and some parts flying. But then when they get out and can walk away, it's a sigh of relief. It really is.
When I stopped, there is very little attached to the car.
Cars can be rebuilt, you know, money can be made back, but
away from a big
yeah, you can't
no problem.
Replace these people, right? If they're hurt.
Minutes later.
Oh, this is in Indy. See, this is
Schumacher slammed into
I never
the wall
followed
at turn
F1.
13
I didn't even realize they went there.
left-hand rear tire failure.
Really kind of cool, actually. Imagine they did the road course version, no, not the oval.
He had last year that kept him out for 6 races.
That was a bad crash, by the way.
He walked away from the wreckage.
The fact that he's getting out is big sigh of relief. That thing was just like...
Montoya tries to go around the outside of Button, but hits his teammate, and it all spirals out of control.
Oh my God, that's a bad one right there. Wow. Look at how violent those
season for the Colombian.
Although, you know what? The sand did his job there. That was in the sand, I think, better than grass here. It kind of dulled the hits, and you could see the basically like that energy kind of wear out, and the car just kind of stop. Whereas if it was on the wrong surface, that might have kept rolling for a while.
5 finishes in the points. The incident in Indy was the final blow to his F1 career.
Still, these don't look fun. Not at all,
It was a nasty-looking accident. So what went through the minds of those involved?
They look bad from the overhead view. It makes them look worse. Oh. Wow. This one's hella bad. Oh my God. Holy shit. Jeez, that's the hardest one in my opinion so far. God, you know what I don't like, the open wheel,
McLaren,
is seeing, the poor guys in there getting jostled around. That is not fun, man. That is not fun. I know these guys have the best job in the world. It's fun racing the cars. They make the big bucks. It's fame, all this stuff. But, dude, I did not wish that upon anybody, man. No matter who you are, that is not fun. I don't like seeing that. I think it's fun seeing the carnage sometimes with the cars because, they're just inanimate objects. But, man, that is not fun seeing a human being get tossed around in there. I did read in the description, by the way, that all these are non-fatal crashes.
He went hurtling into the path of the errant spring and into the tyre wall.
Ooh. Wow. And
the spring hit his helmet just above his left eye.
Okay, so this was scary for another reason. He got to slow down a little bit. Didn't hit the wall terribly hard. He did hit it hard. Terribly hard compared to some of these other ones. But the problem is he had it head on. That's kind of weird. And also, it sounded like the throttle was stuck. Right?
And the car just went straight on.
And that could be kind of scary. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't catch that the first time around. What was this?
The spring hit his helmet just above his left eye. And the car just went straight on.
Oh my God, that's insane. How did that happen? That's just dumb luck.
What was going on with the car and G-forces during the incident.
Yeah, let's see the throttle. So brakes are good. It's on the brakes. Okay, we know F1 cars have incredible brakes. I think the brakes would have saved him here. The problem was, if we saw the telemetry, the brakes and the throttle were both down. So I imagine maybe that hit knocked him out partially, and both his feet fell, limp on the pedal. So the brake was depressed, but being an F1 car, it would have stopped immediately. But instead, it kind of slowed down gradually because the brakes were fighting the engine. The engine was full throttle. Wow, this is just a crazy crash.
Graphics shows
Let me see this again. This is just bizarre to me. This is bad luck, man. Like, why would you get hit in the face by a spring? And then the throttle was stuck on. Oh my God, that's terrible. That's terrible, man. Yikes. Oh my God. Pause. Wow. When you get the raw audio ones without the commentators talking over it, it drives home a little harder how bad these are, how violent car crashes are, even out on the street, right? Car crashes are not fun, man. When you hear metal bending, colliding, it is not a good sound, man. Something's wrong. That was a tough one. Jeez. Monaco. Ooh, I want to learn about this place. Heard a lot about it. Oh, wow. That was a raw deal, wasn't it? This looks like a fun place. Jeez. My God, thank God for the barriers there. I think that really softened the blow. Watch out for the rogue tire there. Can we appreciate how fast F1 cars are? I mean, these look ridiculous. It almost looks like sped up. It almost looks fake, like a toy, like an RC car that moves like kind of jagged, like really fast. And it's like, oh, that's cool, but you can tell it's not real, right? Dude, F1 cars move like that, but they're full-size cars. They move so fast. And then when they lose control and hit a wall, all those movements happen fast. So the amount of G-forces these guys take are, like, unbelievable. Like, seriously. NASCAR just does not compare on the G-force.
And there's Lewis Hamilton slowing into the wall. And oh,
jeez.
And then it was really all about Hamilton and Grosjean getting together.
Wow.
Lewis.
And
so not as straight up violent with the you know, head-on wall collisions, thank goodness, on this one. But more of just chaos, right? We have multiple cars involved. We have cars jumping over other ones.
I'm afraid.
And to me, that's a little scary again, dealing with the open wheel. Your head is out in the elements, and another car is landing on you. Doesn't sound like the best scenario to me. Not at all.
Bit of debris there.
I just feel like I would feel safer in like a NASCAR or something. But I know that might be just a mental thing. I don't know.
Running their own business and then get completely wiped out.
What do we have? An aggressive move. Okay.
Incredibly lucky.
Wow, this guy just skated between the guys. All this happened behind him. You got one guy flying in, about to take him out, and he somehow just escaped.
The result had been on the cards for both drivers, but the huge crash triggered the safety car.
Wow. Oh, there's the other cam. Yeah, he couldn't see what hit him. Yikes. Man, these head-on ones are scary. Especially when you're just helpless. The cars, the tires are dangling. Brakes ain't gonna work at that point. Man. The craziest part is these happen just like this. You practice all week, you qualify, you might be, you know, I don't know, 45 minutes into this race, and just like this, boom, it's done. Oh my goodness. Not a fun day. Jeez. Wow. Oh my God, that scared the heck out of me. He went right at the camera. Take a look at this. Pretty sure he just killed that that camera. Sent it into a different
You are flying and you are bouncing
universe.
around and you see the sky, then you see the ground, you see the sky, and you don't know exactly where you are, and you keep moving, you want to stop. Then the car stopped. I saw a little space to go out, and I said I go out quickly.
Jeez, that's crazy seeing these things get
air.
Not
away we go. Not too much wheel spin, and it's a good start from Raikkonen.
Not a good sight. Wow, look at that. Well. That was like 3 seconds after the start.
Did Vettel get away with it? Raikkonen, and look at his
Oh, that's going to cause a pileup.
More drama on the shambles down at turn 1.
And it's wet.
In all directions.
Soaking wet.
Excuse me, that was Vettel who squeezed Max Verstappen into Raikkonen, and we'll
can't believe how long these newer cars look. Here we go. We got an onboard with Verstappen.
Look at Seb. Look at Seb. Look at Seb. Oh, it's.
Oh my God! Got out of that barely.
You could argue a racing incident.
Nope. Not so quick to get out. Psych. That's frustrating, man. Think about it. Again, all weekend. Here you are. Green flag. First turn. Oh, we're done.
Well, and that's the Sauber
that's
of
frustrating,
Marcus
man.
Ericsson.
Jeez, this guy is doing the flips.
Session suspended. And Paul,
look like a damn gymnastics routine in this car.
Just went on under braking.
Yikes!
Just stepped out from under.
Look at this, twisting, turning,
ones like that. The energy
flipping,
dissipated,
flirting
over a long distance with all the bits and pieces.
I don't know, man.
As well, it's not the sudden stop. They're the ones that really
These
hurt.
are pretty wicked.
Whilst it looks spectacular.
Alrighty, guys, so we're going to end it there, okay? Now, this wasn't even all of them, all right? This is a really good video. Highly encourage you to check it out with the link down below. You can watch the whole thing uninterrupted because I skipped around a bit. But I got the idea here. These were some pretty insane, pretty wicked crashes going in. I didn't know what to expect. Were they worse than I thought they'd be? I think they were. I think they were because one thing in NASCAR that doesn't happen much but is scary is when they get air. You know, when they, same thing in NASCAR, if they get turned around going really fast, the cars are aerodynamic. They stick to the road, of course, going forward. But, you know, if they get turned around, it's not made to go that way that fast. So the air gets underneath the back of the car, and then they take flight. And it's really scary. Some crazy flips and airtime can happen. Of course, you know, going up, riding on the fence, all these different things can happen. And it's really crazy. I didn't expect to see that so much, even though I guess I should have expected it. But, yeah, we saw this a lot here in these F1 crashes. It's really scary because they take flight, like, super quick. And then you just along for the ride. You can't do anything. It's got to be the scariest thing as a driver. You know, I thought they would be bad just because, like I said, going into this, I always thought open wheel cars are just super weird, super sketchy in crashes. I know they actually end up being safe a lot, but just the look, you know, it looks more violent. It looks more, they look more fragile, if that makes sense. But I could safely say, obviously, the tracks are designed, you know, to be as safe as they can be, I imagine. You know, the tire barriers and all these different things, you know, the sand traps, the gravel traps, all those play a part in keeping everyone safe, you know, when the worst happens. And, of course, I imagine if you would like to weigh in the comments on one of these, you know, which of these do you remember seeing? Which of these might be your favorite, I guess, if you could call it that. And, you know, weigh in if you can on how safety has progressed in the sport over the last 20 years, even since the 80s, since the 90s. Because, you know, in most motorsports, including NASCAR, which I have most, you know, familiar with as a spectator, obviously the cars have, you know, made a lot of advancements and seem to really almost year to year, or at least every 2 or 3 years, make big leaps in safety and rethinking, you know, how they can keep people safe in the worst collisions. Please throw a thumbs up if you liked it, okay? I want to see more. I'm really digging this. I'm still learning a lot, and this was a good one, okay? So help that video out. And, of course, you can subscribe. Join this amazing community we have. And, of course, we are on our way to 100K, so I need your help. If you're not subscribed, double check. Make sure you are. And if you do, you'll be part of one of the best communities on YouTube. You won't regret it. As always, check the description for this original video, as I said earlier, as well as other ways you can interact with me, support me, things like that. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. And until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you later.